Hello, everyone, and welcome to React Hive. Today, we will be diving into episode 1 of Amazon Prime's new drama, Fallout, based on the post apocalyptic role playing game created by Tim Kaine. If you liked the video and want to see more, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. Enough talk, let's get started. We're introduced to Cooper Howard, one of the main characters of the series, while doing some fancy cowboy tricks, to the tune of Nat King Cole's Orange-Colored Sky, a fantastic piece of foreshadowing for the events to come. Nat's songs have been featured in not only the show, but also Fallout 4, New Vegas, and 76. Everyone looking like they just stepped out of an episode of Happy Days. The story is currently taking place in pre-war LA, and we are greeted with the retro futuristic aesthetic that the Fallout games were famous for. I wonder if Fonzie could have stopped the nukes with his raw swagger and finesse, but I guess we'll never know. The mother of birthday boy Roy does her best to keep the partygoers in a happy mood by shutting off a potentially scary radio and TV broadcast alluding to the danger this pre-war America faces. Hey look, a Mr. Handy Robot, a popular assistance robot featured in nearly all Fallout games. Man, this family's got racks. Cooper is finished with his swag-tastic cowboying and tries to take some pictures with the birthday boy. One dad questions the other regarding why the fastest gun in the West, Cooper Howard, is working at kids' birthday parties. To which the other one retorts, alimony. Cooper shrugs it off as his loving daughter questions what the men said, to which he replies that I'm lucky to have such a good helper like you, making us the audience root for the calm and cool cowboy ever more. They ask him to take a couple more pictures, and they try to get him to do his famous thumbs up, to which the star politely declines. Given the current state of the world, he feels that it's not appropriate. They cut the cake and the kids run to the TV, and are greeted with an irate weatherman who refuses to continue his job because he believes there might not even be a next week. This further confirms the danger the United States is currently in, with war possibly breaking out at any moment. The mother of Roy continues her job, trying to censor the doom and gloom at her son's party by switching the channels to something the kids will enjoy. We see a quick shot of a Nuka-Cola commercial, a very popular drink in the Fallout universe. The show isn't pulling any punches when it comes to referencing the games the show was based on. Janie, Cooper's daughter, asks her dad why he wouldn't do his trademark thumbs up. He tries to brush off the youngster with the famous dad line, that's grown-up stuff. If the mushroom cloud was smaller than your thumb, get the heck out of there. But if the cloud is bigger than your thumb, you don't have a prayer, and you should just stay put because there's no point in running. That isn't depressing at all, Mr. Cowboy. Dad of the Year Cooper tries to rustle up some cake for his daughter, and Janie is the first to notice the first big explosion that rocks the city of LA.
All right, one piece of cake coming up from my favorite cowgirl.
Is it your thumb or mine?
Remembering her dad's story, she immediately holds up her thumb to measure the blast. And I hate to break it to you, Janie, that explosion is the size of about 27 thumbs. So good luck with that. The rest of the party is then greeted with a flash, bam, alakazam, as the afternoon descends into chaos. Cooper and Janie try to escape the blast, while Dude Guy Manbro punches out his partner in crime as he implores his homie to let him and his daughter in. Man, nuclear war and impending doom really has a way of putting things in perspective, huh? Cooper and Janie ride on Sugarfoot in an attempt to escape, as we are shown a shot of the city and the numerous nuclear explosions happening throughout. We also see a shot of a Vault-Tec billboard. Man, a vault sounds really cozy right about now. We now fast forward 219 years in the future, and are met with another main character in our story, Lucy McLean. We then see a showcasing of Lucy's skills and what she brings to the vault and her community. Repair, science, speech, athletics, and her use of firearms, funnily enough, are all skills that can be found in any of the Fallout games. We also get a glimpse of her hobbies, which include movies, gardening, and participating in a book club, all done with her father, who appear very close. Norman, her brother, is also shown, looking like a typical beta male who refuses to participate in wholesome family activities. Don't be a Norman, guys. Lucy remarks to the council in very deadpan fashion that her reproductive organs are still intact and she is very hygienic. To me, a fantastic callback to the overall silly nature of Fallout dialogue. The purpose of this interview is brought to light. Lucy wishes to be the candidate in the triennial trade with Vault 32, as she has yet to find a romantic partner. The Council use their famous Vault-Tec Pip-Boys to render their decision. Pip-Boys are essentially Apple Watches, a small computer on your wrist with many different functions, standard issue among Vault dwellers, and have served as an invaluable tool in nearly all of the Fallout games. Lucy has been chosen and will find her husband from Vault 32. Preparations are being made for the upcoming wedding, which includes setting up tables and getting Lucy and her dress ready to go. We see the names of other brides throughout Vault 33's history, and Lucy adds her name to the list, etching out her own piece of history. Lucy and her friend Stephanie make their way out of the dressing room, and Lucy complains about the dress being too tight. In comes Stephanie with a huge bomb drop, which puts the destruction of LA to shame.
Feels a little tight. Won't be for long. On my wedding night, that dress got off almost as fast as Bert did.
Ouch. We then hear a brief history of Lucy's sexual escapades, which include 10 years of incestuous sexual activity with cousins, which is totally not a red flag at all and shouldn't concern us, right? Hank, Lucy's dad, who is also the overseer of the vault, think of him like the mayor of a town, hugs his daughter and is excited for the upcoming wedding. He compliments her, saying that she looks just like her mother, both of which wish their mom was still there. He gives her some words of encouragement and prepares his daughter for what's to come. Norman accompanies his sister to the meeting between vaults, commenting on the potential butt of her new husband. Norm being Norm, loving to make things awkward. We then meet Chet, a former lover of Lucy and also one of her cousins. Man, this just keeps getting better and better. Chet is most definitely down bad and distraught, and opens the gate without another word. Sorry, dude. We then meet some of the denizens of Vault 32, and their overseer, Lee Moldaver. Hank offers his condolences to the passing of the previous overseer, Jackson, not suspicious in the slightest. She then explains to him the blight that hit their wheat crops, and they lost a lot of good people. Hank offers them some seed and machinery to sweeten the deal, and in comes Lucy's husband, Monty. Stephanie comments on Lucy's luck, much to the ire of the king of the quick finishers, her husband Bert. The festivities begin. Lucy and Monty are wed, and the dinner starts. Lucy, in typical Lucy fashion, cuts right to the chase, asking of Monty's sperm count. I wish my dates were this forward. Hank gives a speech to all in attendance, where we get some shots of some of the denizens of Vault 32, and we notice that some have tattoos, piercings, and others have grotesque scars, which for some reason isn't raising any alarm in anyone's head. Hank comments that the radiation levels are dropping fast enough that the next generation, Lucy and Monty's kids, will be able to recolonize the wasteland. Everyone is delighted. He then talks about the unknown with what's out there. Things like desperation, violence, and lawlessness could have taken over. And we see Lee Moldaver looking sus. Serve me up another dollop of that foreshadowing. The speech ends and the Vault Dwellers begin dancing and having fun. Norm, being Norm, joins in on the most awkward three-way wedding dance in any Vault's history. Monty and Lucy retreat back to Lucy's room, and after a brief okie dokie, begin to make love. Norman looks suspicious and begins to trot over to Vault 32. He notices the devastation of their wheat crop and pushes onward. We then get a shot of Monty literally cleaning off his penile member with some of the curtains in Lucy's room. Pretty sure that's not how you clean the curtains. Norman continues his investigation. He realizes Vault 32 is completely dilapidated and abandoned. We cut back to Lucy, and we begin to hear faint banging and yelling. Lucy grows suspicious of Monty, takes her Pip-Boy out, and scans Monty for radiation. Detects that his radiation level,
it's over 9,000!
She deduces that Monty is not the man he says he is, and realizes he's a raider. They begin to tussle, with Monty having the upper hand for most of the encounter, even stabbing Lucy, but not before she turns it around with a swift glass container head smash and slash combo, rendering Monty down and seemingly dead. Lucy quickly grabs a medical kit and conveniently finds a Fallout series favorite, Stim Pack, and heals herself of her wound. Lucy makes a quick trip to the armory and begins capping raiders left and right, showcasing her skills with firearms and weapons. The citizens of Vault 33 are being slaughtered by the raiders, and we're shown one of the most creative and brutal kills I've seen in a long time. Good job, Fallout. The killing of the Vault Dwellers definitely drives a parallel with the evil ending in the first Fallout game, where super mutants are shown brutally killing the inhabitants of the main character's vault. Chilling stuff. Lucy is almost killed at the hands of a raider, before being saved by an unnamed Vault Dweller in just the nick of time. Stephanie, close friend of Lucy, is holding a dead Bert in her arms, and goes into Wifezilla mode, as she screams aloud and runs to help defend her vault, for which she earns a fork in the eye, but grabs a weapon and starts ramboing some raiders. A raider steps up to Chet and uses one of the many drugs known as chems in the Fallout universe, called Jet, and is worked into a frenzy. He meets his end almost as quickly as the quick draw god known as Bert, R.I.P. Bert, and is cut in half by the vault doors. Norman is caught in a struggle and is almost killed at the hands of a raider, but is saved by his sister, and put into a safe place, but Monty reappears. Hank steps in and saves his daughter and kills Monty by drowning him in pickles. What a waste of pickles. Hank and Lucy are then greeted by Moldaver and her goons, which are holding some of the dwellers hostage. In classic Fallout fashion, Hank is given a morality-bending, impossible choice: save his daughter or save the dwellers. In OG dad fashion, he chooses to save his daughter and is tranquilized for his efforts. Moldaver shockingly lets the hostages go and lets them get a running start before she blows up the bomb. We now join fellow main character Maximus, getting beat up by Aspirant Thaddeus and his goons in some classic military hazing. Dane, a friend of Maximus, helps him up and sees if he's okay. They are shown to be on a military base of the Brotherhood of Steel, an infamous faction in the Fallout universe, perilous in their attempts to restore and preserve pre-war tech. We get shots of the base as well as fellow aspirants, one of whom being a child, implying that the Brotherhood recruits and trains some of its soldiers from a very young age, possibly even birth. The aspirants are in a classroom and hope to one day be made squires, which is the next rank up that an aspirant would want to achieve. They are tasked with helping a knight do his duty, very akin to the medieval practices of old. They are being taught by Cleric Felix, a higher up in the Brotherhood of Steel, tasked with teaching its recruits.
One day as squires, you will help knights find and identify pre-war tech.
Aspirant Maximus.
Can you identify this relic?
Bruder?
A circuit. The ability to defend yourself is but one part of your training. We are the finders and the preservers. Unless you know what to find and preserve, you are more useful as a corpse.
More members of the Brotherhood arrive in a dropship, and they look absolutely base as they strut their stuff in their famous power armor, as Maximus ponders their arrival. A member of the Order is drawing out a sketch of someone who is a target of the Brotherhood. Dane and Max check out where they house some of the power armor, and they look on with envy and awe of what they're seeing. Max is reminded why he joined the Order in the first place, recalling a time in his childhood where he was possibly saved by a knight in the Brotherhood donning the famous armor. If I saw someone dressed like that when I was a kid, of course he would be my hero too. Dane is summoned by some officers and is asked to go with them. We begin the next day with some of the recruits throwing literal bricks at a makeshift basketball hoop. They must have been inspired by watching Shaq free throw highlights. We then see Max at the barracks, after passing over a fellow aspirant, possibly churning butter under the covers. He hears commotion as he notices the soldiers are celebrating. Dane was promoted to squire, and everyone is happy. Everybody except Max. The soldiers are partying well into the night, and Max is cleaning up crap once again. The next day, Dane puts on one of their shoes without somehow noticing the metal razor blades that are scattered throughout the shoe. Perception, level 0. Officers grab Max, put a bag over his head, and take him in for questioning. We then head back to our favorite vault, Vault 33, as they try and clean up everything as a result of the carnage from last night's raid. The council is meeting with everyone to discuss a plan moving forward. Lucy volunteers to leave the vault to go rescue her father. The council does not want to further endanger the vault by opening the outer door, and Norman surmises that part of the reason why is he thinks the council fears of losing their power over the vault. Lucy, ignoring the council, enlists the help of the mayor of Down Badsville, Chet, and little brother Norman to assist her in leaving the vault to go find her dad. Chet tries to get Lucy to stay, but says that he also wants to go with her, and he is met with a swift trank as a result, and passes out. She gives one final goodbye to her brother before leaving the vault for good. A member of the council, Reg, and fellow vault dweller Dave try and get her to stay, but to no avail. Lucy stumbles out and is met with the first real sunlight she has ever seen. Someone that has lived in a vault all their life must be absolutely blown away by seeing the outside world for the first time. We see her take a long look at possibly Santa Monica Pier, engrossed with seeing the ocean and civilization for the first time.
Okie dokie.
We head back to the questioning of Max, being led by the elder of the base, Cleric Quintus, and are reminded of what the Brotherhood has provided him for all of his life. He wants the truth from Max, but he also wants answers. He asks him why he joined the Brotherhood, to which he gets the reply from Max, to hurt the people who hurt me. The questioning continues, as the elder asks Max if he put the blades in Dane's shoe. He says no, but the elder was told by other members it was him. A knight wearing power armor looms over Max with a foreboding presence. He explains that even though he didn't do it, he wanted it to happen, alluding to the aspirations the young Max has. Elder Cleric Quintus asks Max if he is weak. He states he doesn't want to be, indicating he is self-aware of his current position and demeanor. Max is given some final words by the Elder, and he thanks him for sheltering him and giving him purpose, stating that he would lay his life on the line if it meant it would better the Brotherhood. This is his purpose, and he lives for nothing else but the Order. Impressed, Elder Quintus awards him a promotion to Squire. Max is sworn in by the Order and is branded with a T, reminding him of his duty to his knight Titus. Hope it doesn't get affected. Elder speaks to the recruits and knights outside and warns them that someone from the Enclave has escaped. The Enclave is essentially the evil twin brother of the Brotherhood of Steel, and they wear similar armor and have wishes to restore America to its former glory. The Elder warns them that the man has with him an object of profound potential and importance to the Order, and is listing the knights and their squires to seek this person out. Max and his knight Titus get on a ship and head out for their mission. Max is delighted that he is finally climbing up the ranks and being noticed by his brothers. We hear gunshots in the distance and witness a swift junk jet kill from our boy Biggie Cheddar. The junk jet was a weapon made famous from Fallout 3 and is one of my favorite weapons. Anyone else have any favorite weapons from Fallout? Make sure to comment below and get the hive talking. We meet Honcho, Slim, and Biggie hunting a potential co-worker under the leadership of Dom Pedro. They notice the IV drip, more than likely a type of anti-radiation medication, and how it's connected to the coffin, leading them to deduce that they are most likely looking for a ghoul. Honcho also comments that his dad knew him, an indicator of the extreme age of the ghoul in question. They bring a test chicken to see if he has gone feral, a possible side effect of being turned into a ghoul, a condition where you lose all sense of self and become a mindless killing machine. They dig up their target and are met with Walter Goggins. More likely than not, he is the ghoulish result of Cooper Howard and his exposure to radiation. After making possibly the funniest reference to the Count of Monte Cristo ever heard, he meets the lads and is asked if they want to join them in their task of finding a bounty, a potential huge score.
Well, well, well. Wow, is this an Amish production of the Count of Monte Cristo? Or just the weirdest circle jerk I've ever been invited to?
It's revealed to us that it's the same man the Brotherhood of Steel is also looking for. Small wasteland, huh? The ghoul then rejects the proposition and goes full John Wick on Honcho and his goons. The ghoul remarks to Honcho before executing him that, "Us cowpokes, we take it as it comes." The same line he delivered to his daughter Janie before the blast, thus confirming the ghoul is Cooper Howard. The lone ghoul ranger walks off with a swagger in his step and leaves his chicken sidekick behind. And the episode ends, and our current story comes to a close. Thanks for watching, everyone. We will be covering the rest of the Fallout series, so stay tuned for episode 2. Like, comment, and subscribe, and join the hive. Thanks, guys. Peace.